Yo, it's D.Arthur in the building, talking to you guys today about why women can sense the retention on you. Women can sense the seed retention on you. And the reason why this is, the metaphysical reason why this is because the more the more you feel, the more sense of energy that you feel, the longer you're on retention, the more urge that you have. People subconsciously can feel this subconsciously. This is why you can see that if you're on retention for a good amount of time, men and women alike will respect you. This just has happened to me. I was at the gym, and this guy just asked me um if I was still using the machine. Now, the 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 skeptical people, the ordinary thinking people would just say, "Oh, he was just asking you because he really needed to use it." And yes, this obviously could be the case. This is the easy thing to know. This is what anybody could know. But what I'm trying to tell you is there could be more to this. He could sense that he could see maybe he could see my physical build, and he could subconsciously respect me. He could just be putting that out there just so he could get the chance to speak to me. This is it could go both ways. Because usually some people, especially when they're interested in someone, sometimes they just say something indirectly to just get a reaction at them. Or people who are just very, logical, who don't really think are not very in depth in thinking and just take everything for as exactly how they see it, because they'll say that he wanted to use the machine. It could actually be either. That's not the point. The point I am trying to make is that people in general, especially if you've been on retention for a good amount of time, especially if you're around women, especially if you're in a social setting, they can smell the retention on you. They can smell the retention on you because of how you're feeling. The more you feel on a subconscious level, like I said, the hornier you feel on a subconscious level, the more urge that you have on a subconscious level, the more people will pick up on this easily. They will pick up on this easily. If you've relapsed recently and you've gone to a social setting, you can tell there's a big difference. You cannot underestimate the power of retention, the most potent energy seed given to you, the power to create real life given to you. Now we have people nowadays in the comments. They're talking about, I know a Chad who beat off and has a haram of women. We have people talking about this in the comments. What I'm here to say is, if he was really a Chad, why would he need to get himself off? If he is a Chad and he has a haram, what is the point of doing that? There's a lot of people who say a lot of things and make zero sense, because they make zero sense because they can't come up with anything better to say. A lot of people say a lot of things. A lot of people can't get out of their own way. Guys, you have to realize, when you go on retention, and maybe it's because they haven't gone on retention. And it's not only about retention. I think this might be the biggest misconception of everything, is that people just think it's only solely just because you're on semen retention. That's not the case. It's because you're on semen retention and you're using your energy, like increasing your testosterone by hitting the gym and also meditating. You do these three things combined, and you might also do fasting as well too. You do these three things, four things, cold showers as well too. You do all of these things combined on a consistent basis for 60 days at least consecutively. You're going to be a whole new person. You cannot tell me that is not true. You will be a whole different person, because you're going to be literally living in the present moment. There's nothing else occupying your mind like lust and PMO. That does not exist in your reality anymore. You're going to be as present as humanly possible. When you're present as humanly possible, people have to be around you. They have to. This is subconscious. They have to see. They realize on a subconscious level that you are who you say you are. You are a true person. You are a real person. You are. You have no. There's no BS in you. There's no lack in you. You are fully abundant, and you have something to give people. You can offer advice. You are someone to offer someone advice because you're just becoming a present human being, super present, and people see this subconsciously. So she will see the retention on you. Like I said, people don't have an idea of what's going on. They're underestimating this power. They haven't done it. You can't talk about it if you haven't done it for at least 60 days. You have to do it for at least 60 days. And I don't just mean just doing retention and sitting on your butt. I mean doing retention. I mean hitting the gym. I mean praying. And I mean meditating. I also mean taking cold showers. Do all of the good habits, 60 days plus, you will become a new person. You have to be. There's no way that you cannot be the same, that you can't be a different person. This isn't how the world works. There is a law of cause and effect in everything that you do. So the people who say, oh, I know a guy who's beat off and then has a haram. They're missing the point. They're missing the points. The point is, the person that they're becoming, the person that they're changing to be, becomes easier. Guys, you have to realize that you will be also tested on retention. I'll give you an example of how I was tested. There was this girl I met on Tinder. We went out on a couple dates, and then I talked to her, and she said something. Keep in mind that she speaks only in Spanish, so I had to use a Google Translator this whole entire time. And then she said something, and I didn't respond for a while. And then she blocked me on text message. And then I went on Tinder, and then I basically called her out. And then she unmatched me on Tinder as well, too. And I was like, oh. But also, I follow her on Instagram. She followed me back on Instagram before. And she was still looking at my stories. Now, the typical man can say, oh, she doesn't F with me because she's blocked me on 2 sites. Keep in mind, I did not hit her up. I just posted on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, by the way. And she's still watching my story. Now, a logical person would think, oh, wouldn't she have to block you on Instagram too? Isn't that the next thing? That's what you would think. But you have to keep in mind the game some people play. It could have been a bluff, because she could easily block me on Instagram and there could be no communication. But even though she blocked me on text message and on Tinder, she still has not blocked me on Instagram. Now, maybe she could in the future, but she has not. This could mean that it's a bluff. She's testing. It's a test to see how much I would cave in to try to talk to her. But us retainers know that there's abundance for everyone. There is abundance for everyone. We do not chase anything that is playing hard to get. We like women that are open. We like cooperative women. The more you retain, the more masculine you become. The more you retain, the more masculine you become. The more masculine you become, life will get easier for you. Life may get easier for you. Also, this is a side effect of retention. If you go on retention for a while, you're just very in this mood of maybe low tolerance for BS, and you might come across as just very cutthroat, you might come across as very strict, maybe even come across as angry or something. This may happen just because you are obviously on retention, you have pent up ejaculate, and you have tension in you. What usually tends to happen, what could happen is people in your reality, you could be attracting unfavorable circumstances as well too. This also is a side effect of retention because of your tension, the tension that you built inside and the tension that you have inside of yourself, you are attracting tension in your life as well too. I have seen this personally as well too. It's not all sun and roses. Sometimes it does get a bit chaotic. It gets a bit People will try to test you. This is just what's happening. It's because you're evolving into a. The more you evolve, the more people feel the need to test you. You just have to realize this. People take it too literally. They cannot pick up on any signs, and this is why they lack and fail in life. Guys, when you're on retention, I've seen this in my eyes. I have seen this easily. The longer you retain, the more you're working out, the more you're becoming increasing and evolving as a man in general, the more she will be attracted to you. She will get close to you. There will be a proximity flirt. She will try to get around you. She will try to get near you. You just have to realize this on a subconscious level. You have to realize this. If you fap and you go into a social setting, there is a big difference. There is a big difference. I can tell you the difference. There is a big difference because when you retained, you're more confident, you're more masculine. When you're no fap, you're more confident, you're more masculine. When you fapped recently and you've gone out, you're just not as in the zone as you. And this, people can even tell on this. I can tell you firsthand. So never mind what anybody says. Never mind people talking about, oh, he fapped and now he still has a haram. They're missing the point. If he was that person that you are telling him to be, that you are saying that he is, why would he need to feel the need to get off himself? This is my one question that I have for everyone who doubts any of this. People have not done any of this and they're still doubting, they're still questioning these things. It doesn't make any sense. People just want to be lazy. People don't want to put the work in. People don't want results. There's people who think that they still are entitled to results for doing minimum effort and minimum work. This is how your common man thinks. They do little to nothing and they still expect results. Be the opposite of the lazy man. Be purposely. Work hard purposely. Be overly optimistic purposely. Do the most purposely. You will get results. You will be better than your common man because the common man thinks that he can put little to no effort and still get results, and that is just not the case, especially if you're a man. She's gonna sense the retention off you. She's gonna be attracted to you, not just because of retention, but because of your masculine traits, and then because of your masculine traits and your carefreeness. Also, banter is a big part of this as well too. You have to learn the art of banter, the art of flirting. You have to be able to do this easily. You have to be able to do this. Guys don't know how to do this either. This is a big detriment. You have to learn how to flirt. You have to learn how to do banter. This is how she can be very comfortable around you. This is a very big key that you have to learn. This all comes from having a sixth sense, intuition. You have to lean into your edges. You have to take what people say to you, maybe in different ways. This is how you can really get ahead, especially if you have like some sort of job. It's about how they say it, their body language, what they mean behind it. The first thought that comes to your head when someone says anything, before you consciously can say anything, is pretty much what they mean. Most of the time is what they mean. How you feel, exactly how someone says something before you speak is usually what they mean, and you have to take this into account. If that makes sense, like the video. If you still have questions, comment down below. We will see you in the next one.